An underwater snowstorm. That's how a veteran marine biologist describes the annual event when the coral on the Great Barrier Reef begins to spawn.
The coral spawning is always magical, and it was great to see all these egg sperm bundles coming off these corals.
This year, scientists are on the scene, scooping coral spawn. It's an experimental effort to save this natural wonder of the world from the ravages of climate change. A pilot breeding project aimed at increasing the fertility of coral.
The baby corals are going into big floating larval pools on the reef system, so it's really exciting that we can go from these ideas of capturing coral spawn at small scale and starting to scale it up to much larger areas, many more pools, and literally millions of larvae being developed on the reef.
Off the coast of Australia, the Great Barrier Reef is a sprawling marine habitat that's larger than Italy. But it's in trouble. In the summer of 2016, vast amounts of coral suddenly started bleaching, turning bone white.
What we saw in 2016 and 2017, the marine heat waves that led to coral bleaching and the death of coral, was like nothing we've ever seen before.
Scientists estimate the record warm temperatures killed more than half of the coral in the Great Barrier Reef in just 2 years. CNN traveled to Australia last June to look at a government effort to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into projects to help save one of the country's largest tourist attractions. With temperatures milder in early 2018, there were signs of recovery.
But we did see little ones regenerating back, yeah.
At the tips of some of the dead coral,
yeah,
these little spots of color,
yeah,
right?
And they'll grow again as long as they're not bleached again.
But with the Australian summer fast approaching, meteorologists are issuing ominous warnings. A heat wave in the nearby state of Queensland has already contributed to raging bushfires, and scientists fear marine heat waves will likely follow.
When we think about forecasting the weather for the Great Barrier Reef, the climate of the entire planet and the Great Barrier Reef has already changed, and it is still changing. And so it's getting harder for scientists to be confident about predictions of the future. We're entering into uncharted territory. Almost every year is warmer than usual, and in fact that's becoming the new normal.
That's why Professor Peter Harrison's breeding project targets heat-resistant coral.
These corals that have survived the last 2 bleaching events we know are heat tolerant, and therefore they're the ones that we really need to be capturing the spawn from, because they'll provide larvae that gives us a fighting chance to try and overcome the problems of increasing sea temperatures and mass bleaching events.
It's an ambitious effort to save a marine habitat. But given the scale of the challenge, for now, it's just a drop in the ocean. Ivan Watson, CNN.